I'm Clare McCluskey-Dean, and I'm the Academic Liaison Librarian for the School of Education, Language and Psychology. My area of research is critical information literacy. This theory says we should go beyond what the library provides in a university setting, or the information source that you're using in a wider setting, and thinking about how to search for that and the processes of searching, and instead put the researcher at the centre of the process. And in a university setting, that's the students and staff members. We should acknowledge and tackle the power structures that are in the publication process and what is made available. There are systemic inequalities in publishing information in any format, and there are voices that are marginalised as a result of that. So in critical information literacy, we think about whose voices are there, whose voices are not there, and how you can address this. For my doctorate, I looked across the university at how I could work with staff and students in order to embed these ideas in the curriculum. That's in terms both of the teaching that goes on, curriculum design, and the resource base that we have on offer to the staff and students at the university. In doing this, I was able to collaborate with staff across the university in thinking about how these ideas are reflected in the curriculum. In practice, what this has meant is that I have worked with tutors on a recent revalidation project for a suite of programmes in children, youth and education. What we've done is have a look at the resource base for the whole programme and also for the particular modules, and think about whose voices are reflected there, which sections of society are predominant and who is missing. We then broadened the resource base, so I looked at publishers beyond the traditional publishing industry. We looked at new publishers, we looked at open access sources and other forms of information in order to form the core resources for the new revalidated degree. So for example, when we were looking at some of the childhood and youth modules, we looked at things like same-sex parenting and same-sex adoption and made sure that there were adequate resources from a variety of sources included in those resource lists. We've centred trans people's experiences, their health and their education experiences as part of modules to do with life chances and education inequalities. So what we've managed to do is create a resource base that has included some of the voices that were more traditionally marginalised. Another outcome of my research is that, together with a colleague who now works at Northumbria University, we've had a look at how students can be empowered to reflect on their curriculum themselves. So this colleague designed a tool, after we'd had a discussion, that allowed students to look at their course, think about the things that they'd learned on their course, and think about whose theories and whose voices were the ones that had come out most to them. And generally, these were white, straight, cis men. And from this, they were able to reflect and think about how else could we introduce other voices from society into the university research and life experiences that these people were having. I write up these ideas and experiences on my research blog, and I'm also in the process of publishing a book chapter on this work and how we've impacted on the curriculum at York St John. I'll continue to do this as we hear back from students and academics on how this has proceeded in their teaching and learning experiences.